Good morning from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. It's 9:27 a.m. on the 21st of April 2024. It's a miserable, grey, rainy day outside, but we need the rain, so I'll try not to be resentful of all the grey I'm immersed in. But look, soylent grey neighbourhood, soylent grey skies, it's enough to send you a little bit troppo. But anyway, it is what it is. I have to live in the crumbling Western society where all the neighbourhood got some verkachte idea that grey was a fashion statement when it's actually a sign of a breakdown and of a financial depression, amongst other things. But they're too stupid to know that, I guess. Maybe it's good that they don't know that. They can go on with their blissfully contented, happy, spoon-fed, propagandized, gene-altered lives and just live in denial until eventually, they pop their clogs, says she who's been popping her clogs for decades. Which is why I held my ground on a certain issue, because when you've nearly died multiple times, about a dozen times in your lifetime, when you've got smoke being blown right up your tuchus by your government. And unfortunately, no one listened to me. I was one of the few voices in the wilderness to say, hell no, I won't go, and don't do it either. But what can you do if people are brainwashed and won't listen to you? You have to sit back and watch and wait and pray that your beloved friends and family stay relatively healthy, given that my friends are all, roughly my age group, so we've all got issues anyway because of the aging process. So it's been a bit terrifying, quite frankly. Today I feel a bit kind of not terrified, but just kind of emptied out. It's like it just feels all too overwhelming sometimes. But anyway, on a happy note, I went dancing on Friday. What's today? Today is Sunday, I think. Yes, I went dancing on Friday night, and I had a wonderful night, actually. There was no one grabbing on me. Maybe, one woman kind of grabbed my hand to dance, but that was okay. She was wild and carefree, and it was to dance. There was no severe psychosexual slathering, is what I mean by no one grabbing on me. So that was a good night. A good night is when people respect your body autonomy and just have fun and dance with you and be joyful, and there's no fucking agendas, right? That's a good night, my darlings. Anyway, it's raining and it's coming down at almost a 45-degree angle. Maybe not. Maybe a 70-degree angle. Oh, what do I know? I'm not even good at maths. It's coming down in a slanted style, like this. Oh, you have to laugh at me. I do like to pretend I'm smarter than I am, people, just because I've had so many people try to destroy me that I have to up-level a little bit. Up-level. Anyway, you have to laugh. So now I've had a quick preview of today's readings of Even Date, and everything from 2018 to 2009 has been chopped out, which means some computer glitch or some motherfucker censored me, which you know how I feel about that. But don't see any reason for there to be such epic censoring between 2018 and 2009. So it's more than likely the computer algorithm sliced me off. But I went to go and retrieve my writings because I'm pedantic like that from my Facebook archives, and my Facebook archives wouldn't come up. And you know what? I can't be bothered. It's too fucking hard. So any good writing that might have been done on even date that's missing, meh. I'm beaten down to think like that, because my usual thing is, fuck you, I will retrieve my truth. And I go and I spend hours and hours extricating it all and posting it back up. But I'm tired. I'm tired of the bullshit. I'm tired of having my truths torn from me. And I'm tired in general, just tired. So I'm just presenting to you what is here. And if I find it later and I'm feeling stronger and more determined and more stoic later, I might make a second video called 21st of April Part 2 and throw everything back up that's been taken away from me, because I'm stubborn like that. And my life is meaningful and purposeful, and it should not be stymied or atrophied by third parties that are just not even fucking human most of the time. So what a fucking liberty. If you can feel my vibe. Anyway, it's raining quite heavily now, and the rain's no longer slanted. It's coming down in a slightly different direction like this. At any rate, we, the Tanya, and the people on YouTube watching my videos, we shall go with the flow, my darlings. Should go out and dance in the rain, because it is lovely, even though everything looks grey. Grey, 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 grey. Anyway, today's readings of even date are titled Sunshine, Chocolate, which I had quite a bit of chocolate for breakfast this morning, which was very bad behaviour, but Miss Five felt like it, and Miss Five always gets her way because she's my pristine inner child. She's powerful beyond measure, and you know, sometimes she wants to be indulged and spoilt, and thank God she's not in charge of my sexuality, just saying. That would have been dangerous. But she's pristine and untainted by adult men and their vicissitudes and their falsities and their lackluster acopism. And so if the little bitch wants chocolate, the little bitch gets chocolate, and oh, well, anyway, I'll probably pay for that later, but Sunshine, Chocolate, and discoveries about family members on Ancestry.com. And actually, I shouldn't talk to my inner child that she's a little bitch, but she is powerful. She's quite a force of nature, so she is quite bratty. She's just told me, don't call me a bitch. You're alive because of me, Tanya. Have a little bit of respect. And that is true. If it weren't for my inner child telling me, hell no, we won't go, on a certain propagandized philosophy that came out in 2020, I would already be dead. Seriously. So I can't put it out there because she's inside of me. But to you, little one, you were wise beyond worlds, and I do honour you. But, you know, too much chocolate, kid, too much chocolate, it's not good for this adult body, just saying. So, now, I posted this meme because I have a dark sense of humour and I found it delightful. It's the thought bubble says wrong way, go up. The thought bubble says wasting my life is taking forever. Oh dear goddess. Anyway, it has taken forever. 21 April 2023. Today's efforts. That one I made into a pendant and I gifted to Jared. That one of those ones I gifted to Crystal. That's a bezel for a moonstone pendant I gifted to Crystal. That one I made too small, so I couldn't do anything with it, but I've since found out how to enlarge them slightly, so I might give that a go. And that one is around my my turquoise, well, it's a haulite stone with all the little love hearts around it. So everything except for that teardrop shaped one has been put to good use and is being worn quite gleefully and joyfully by my daughter and my friend and myself, and I am a productive, successful woman, even if it's only in my own mind, and life is beautiful, people, and I'm feeling very kind of high vibration today. I'm feeling lots of love. I'm feeling loved, which is strange because I'm all alone in my house, right? Wasting my life as per usual. So I've made a lifetime practice of wasting my life, but hasn't been a total waste, as you can see by my little projects. But I'm feeling, this is going to sound crazy, people, because it sounds crazy to me. I'm feeling on the Custer's last stand. I'm feeling on a breakthrough of something, but I don't know what, whether it's with my love life or whether it's a financial breakthrough or whether I'm just hypomanic from, weeks of hypoxia and I'm on the brink of a breakdown. It can go either way, of course, but I just feel good. I feel good, apart from my soylent grey neighbourhood, but the sun just peeped out. You see? Maybe I was intuiting that. The sun, there's a little blue sliver out there, just peeped out after the rain. But no, I feel good. Someone out there is going to demonstrate their most heartfelt, sincere, authentic intentions. And I just hope that I'll recognise it when I see it and not think it's a fucking game. So, anyway, 21st of April, 2022. I post an article, youtube.com. Does our soul really go on to survive? Preparing ourselves for the ultimate journey. And my comment was, my daemon, Daemon, meaning, your uber soul, your extra spirit that rides with you through life. Probably the equivalent of Miss Five, actually, to be fair, if I think about it. She's more of a kind of a very protective persona that stomps her feet and holds her ground and says no and knows when to say no and doesn't always know when to say yes because we've been broken and damaged too often by too many people over the decades. So saying yes is difficult for us. We find it risk-taking to say yes to certain things because we have trust issues. But it is what it is. My Damon says no, never fuck with the Tanyas. Damon, laughing my ass off. Not wise people. But you know, stupid people who don't know better will try to fuck with me and it will always go bad. Just saying. I'm a very, very loving, kind, sweet person, but don't go there on certain things or you will be burned. Not literally, people, but figuratively speaking. 21 April 2021, 7:33 a.m. Very little sleep last night. My mind was thrashing through several vortices at once. I need to sleep too. Oh well. Impending bout of hypomania, which means I will be sleepless, but super creative. I decided during the night, waking up constantly from my sleep states, which felt like an ascending diver from the deep sea. It literally felt like I was floating upwards as I came into consciousness. I had actual that physical and spiritual and kind of emotional sensation of, you know, when you sit in the bottom of a pool or the bottom of the ocean and then you just let yourself float up, that feeling of being in a bubble. It's actually quite an amazing sensation, to be honest, which is why I chose to describe it like that. Yes, like an ascending diver from the deep sea. That I need to create as much stuff this year as is humanly possible. Knitting fairies or tea cozies, make jewellery, and yes, when the muse is riding side saddle with me, writing. I don't have much time to get my house and or life in order. It's a huge realisation and an immense pressure that I have imposed on myself, because in actual fact, I have plenty of time if I'm not actually dying. But when I get into those states, I'm feeling like I'm not going to make it and I get panicky and I put so much pressure on myself that it actually is kind of a form of dying. Trying to perform superhuman feats with no money, no partner, no resources, and it's crazy making people. It's very, very debilitating. But I do it to myself because failure is no longer an option. Am I right? Says she who's failed at everything in her life, but never mind. It is when it is. When I transmute this body one fine day or one grey day or one night or one moment in the space-time continuum, I guess I'll get to have a life review and I'll look back on everything and say, you did okay, kid. You did the best you could given your life circumstances and all the shit you were put through, and maybe I'll even be proud of myself, how I got myself through, and my children, by the way, alone. So I mustn't be so mean to myself and cut myself some slack. I'm an amazing woman and I'm just as deserving of a loving partner as every other woman on this planet. I'm just as deserving of comfort and ease and happiness and better health if I wouldn't eat so much chocolate for breakfast. But I needed the sugar and the chocolate, the theobromine. It's probably why I'm having this feeling of, oh, I'm in love, because the theobromine's kicked in and I'm all juiced up and I'm like, I can do this. I can do this life. You ready? Whee! I can do this life. I can do this life. I've been doing it. I've been doing it. So you have to laugh, people. Theobromine is a wonderful drug. In moderation, like all drugs. Anyway, where was I? It's a huge realization and an immense pressure that I have imposed on myself. My lungs are shit, my digestive system is shot, and my skin cancers are erupting. Thankfully, they've been okay for the past 12 months. I have to face all my fears and harness them like a woman directing a wild, cantankerous, stormy team of horses. Then ride through all the horror and reach my goals of triumphant, glorious accomplishment, which is partly why my Ojibwa Meduan friend that I knew from Pal Talk times back in 2013 nicknamed me Mustang Quay, wild horse woman, because he said I push in my energy like a galloping horse, just riding through everything, every obstacle, every illness, every heartache, every treachery, every letdown, every financial worry. I just keep fucking pushing through. And then interestingly, when I saw a Viking vulva, which is a Viking witch, for a rune reading that Jared and Crystal paid for my birthday 2 years ago. So what was that? My 57th birthday. She said the same. She said, you're like a horse that's galloping all over the fields. And she said, and you're just rushing everywhere. But she said, you're always just right outside of the box, like just forging ahead on your own, like outside of the parameters. And like she said, you have to rein yourself in, Tanya. You have to slow down, Tanya. You have to go step by step by step by step to achieve your goals instead of just galloping everywhere out of the field. Well, I'm always going to be like that, you know. I did have to rein it back in and learn step by step with the silversmithing, because if you don't learn how to do soldering properly, you can't do anything. And if you don't learn how to do, all the little steps, you can't. It's like putting a puzzle together kind of thing. You've got to have all the constructs in place, all the building blocks in place for it to all fit together perfectly. So I'm trying to use that as an analogy. I guess it's the same with my love life too. I've got to trust that I am loved and that, whoever it is isn't out to hurt me and is genuine and hasn't got a fucking sadistic streak, which I have a bad history of attracting sadists into me. Look, even my own daughter was sadistic to me in September. Like, what do you expect? That's the wound. When I recognise that wound, I go, oh no, holy fuck. Oh, Mama T, the Tanya won't be going there. But I don't know. I've got to put things into place where I'm stabilised and not so easily rattled and can look at the big picture. And the big picture is I'm having fun with my life and I'm okay and I am loved, and a truly loving partner that wants a life with me won't strive to hurt me, as if they're out to hurt me, they're not the man for me. Just saying. But I'm kind of in limbo in a way. I really am. I'm like, the horse is bolted, and she's bolted right out of the field, and now she's nibbling on grass going, I might chew on that for a while. Does it taste good? Is it wholesome? Is it authentic? Is it kind? Is it real? Is it authentic? Or am I going to be spitting out chips again? That's a good way of putting it, actually. I like that. Anyway, I know that I am deeply loved, though, even though I can't pursue a sexual, romantic affair because the situation is not tenable, but I can see the love. Just like I can see the love light up in my beautiful psychiatrist's face when I told him on Wednesday that I'm dying and that I'm done, and why is he keeping me alive, and it's a betrayal because I'm dying, and off I went in my histrionics. It was histrionics, actually. I'm rarely histrionic, by the way. Very rarely. I was right off my chops on Wednesday. And he just smiled at me sanguinely and said, oh, Tanya, you're just tired. Whatever. You get like this. It's sleep deprivation. And you've got hypoxia. Your lips are blue. Of course you feel like you're dying because hypoxia feels just like drowning. And you know what? To you, Brian, he calmed me right the fuck down by telling me the truth. Nothing like the truth to calm me down and bring me back into my reality. Hypoxia does feel like you're drowning. And and then I did my magical thing, which Brian will be quite amazed by, given how hysterical I was on Wednesday. I'm really hysterical in front of him, by the way. And went dancing and had a brilliant night and summoned up the energy and went into my zone in the third set and bloomed. I have bloomed and I feel better. I mean, I'm still a bit hypoxic, but I feel better. So I'm a strange, very, very unusual woman. Very, very powerful and strong indeed. So what was the last sentence? Then ride through all the horror and reach my goals of triumphant, glorious accomplishment. And you know what? Even though in real terms in Western civilization I'm a failure, I had all my homes and wealth stripped from me multiple times, and I live in housing commission. I subsist on a disability pension, and I actually can't afford to invite a man into my life because I don't have any money and I can't provide for a man, and I can't share financially with a man because I don't have an income. So I've failed at the most basic building blocks of adult life through no fault of my own, though. I had one too many psychopaths strip me of everything. But on the other hand, I'm kind of a success. I've kept myself alive against all the odds. I still go dancing even when I feel like literally death warmed up. And I even bloom in my own spirit quite miraculously. And I was witness blooming too by my friends in the band. They were like, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing, Tanya? Who the fuck am I? And who am I kidding, really? But I danced and I enjoyed the dance, and in that I am a success. And then I went home, exhausted, to my little bed, well, my queen-size bed. And I lay there and obviously I took all my makeup off first. And then I lay there and I thought, you, Tanya, are amazing. I am amazing. In this moment, I am amazing. And I am worthy of a truly loving, safe, adoring, respectful, caring, authentic lover, life partner. And one day, one fucking day, it could happen. But in the meantime, I've survived this way for 29 years. I can go another 29 years. Oh my goodness. That would make me, how old am I now? 59, 29, 70, 88. No, I don't want to live that long. That's an obscenity. Living with ill health for another 29 years is an obscenity. But then on the other hand, it's a life, isn't it? Life finds a way, like my beautiful Elsa, who lived to 94. And I remember when it was her 92nd birthday, I said, well, Elsa, you're 92 today. How does that feel? She just looked at me and went, blah. Oh, she's delightful. She is so delightful. My beautiful one. I looked at her and went, did you ever think you would live to 92, Elsa? She went, no, I'm astonished too. She said, everything hurts. I'm in constant pain. Life is shit, but I'm 92. And I was like, I resonated because that's how I kind of feel. And in those days I was 56, so I looked at her and I thought, there's no easy way out, you know. You just have to live your best life no matter what age you are and go with the flow. And in my case, run far afield and keep fucking running and never fucking look back sometimes. But so far I have managed, I'm continuing the readings, so far I have managed to only stir myself in my personal vortex into insomnia and mental moshing, smiley face. But last year, in great discomfort with an actual tummy bug, I made a mosaic table in 17 days, even though I was extremely weak and ill. And yes, it's my outdoor table I made with an elven star in honour of the fairies, because this is sacred space and the fairies are in my garden. I can't see them, but they're there. This is Aboriginal land and also sacred land that I have dedicated to the fae and the spirits and the angels. And then there's me plodding along with my short, fat hobbit footsies in my garden. And I was brought to this house in a very profound spiritual way, so I'm meant to be here. Probably going to die here alone, which is a very confronting and sad thought, but this has been my only true home ever in my life. And on the 5th of May, I will have lived here for 21 years. So I'm grateful for having somewhere where I could lay my head and be relatively safe. Very grateful for that. It gave me an opportunity to heal aspects of my being that could not be healed when I was being driven from home to home with my 2 children on a regular basis by, abusers. So I'm very, very grateful that that finally stopped. This year there was the miracle of the inlaid cabinet. So if I'm gentle with myself and my flagging body, who knows what marvellous things I might yet create. It's a beautiful morning. I had set my alarm for 8 a.m. as I need to pick up solder paste and pickle at 10 a.m. My subconscious mind, anxious to support me in my new hobby, woke me up earlier. Great. Up and at 'em, but by all the gods, I am tired, laughing out loud. I posted an article from the NewYorkTimes.com. Sleeping too little in middle age may increase dementia risk. That's kind of true in my mother's case because she only used to sleep 3 or 4 hours a night. She did indeed die of advanced Alzheimer's, so it's a terrifying thought, people. So I wrote, here I go, yuck. I pray I die before I need to enter those holding rooms of death, i.e. high care facilities, just governmental sadism. I need to hone and hold on to my mind as long as I can. And I'm very angry about Elsa's passing. I mean, she was 94, let's be fair here, but they murdered her. They gave her 2 pain patches, and then, when she reacted to the excess pain relief, they tried to pour a drink down her throat of some kind of drink, probably to revive her, and she aspirated. So they fucking murdered my friend. And his son says, well, what can you do? She was 94. They won't do anything. They'll just cover us and blame it on old age. But no, they're murdering our elderly. They're finding ways to murder them. And it was done to both my parents as well. I know that for a fact. And that's why I actually fear having to go to a hospital for any kind of treatment, because the old midazolam would be a quick way of eliminating me, and they'd just say, oh, she had bad lungs, her respiratory system shut down, which did happen when I had my gallbladder surgery, by the way. I did die briefly. So it would be so easy to eliminate me. It really would. Just a quick squirt of something and my respiratory system would indeed shut down. And then they could legitimately say, oh, well, her lungs finally gave up the ghost. No, it'll be whatever they put into you that shuts you off. So that's partly why I'm a bit terrified of having the Botox treatment, because at any rate, even if they didn't maliciously squirt some toxin into me, apart from the botulism, by the way, it's the fact that my lungs shut down under general anaesthetic that is the risky part. So anyway, I had, what time did I go to sleep last night? I was astonishingly tired too. I wanted to go to bed about 9, which is unusual for me to go to bed so early. I've been doing that all week. But I sat up, I forced myself kind of to stay up, and I watched something on TV that I was so tired I wasn't really taking in the storyline much. So I stayed up, I think it was about midnight-ish. I finally went to bed and I woke up at 8 o'clock. So I had a sleep from midnight to 8 o'clock, but I was up two times during the night to pee, which that's a good night. That 2 interruptions isn't so bad. And and I don't know about the quality of my breathing because, that's why I have purple lips, not enough oxygen. But I think I must have had a better sleep somehow, because I feel quite good today, considering. I mean, my eyes kind of ache, and I kind of feel like there's a brick wall built behind my eyes. There's sort of some kind of pressure, and which is exhaustion. But I feel lucid, and I feel clear, and I feel okay. So I actually feel better. Maybe that wild dance on Friday night unlocked something. Sometimes it does. It just G's me up for a few more days, and then I go downhill, and then I have to pick myself back up for the dance again on the Friday. But anyway, look, I've been living this way now for decades, so I'm used to it. I'm actually used to it. But yeah, the exhaustion is getting very debilitating, but it is what it is, people. Here I write, and we're still in 2021. I practiced soldering this evening, and to begin with, it was a disaster. I really freaked out. Turns out soldering paste is not a solder, and you still need the tiny pallions of hard solder. No, what that means is I didn't have enough heat. The torch I was using at the time was an old butane torch I had, and I obviously didn't have the heat right. But anyway, I know that now, but I didn't know it then. So all part of the learning process. I eventually managed to get a soldered jump ring on the octopus after several attempts. The acid in the pickle ate her riveted eyes out, so now she needs a clean-up and new eyes. But I think she is successfully soldered, even though my nerves are frazzled. I need to buy a soft brass brush and tin shears tomorrow. The brush is for cleaning up the jump ring and chain links, and the tin shears to cut the tiny pallions. I will keep practicing on the chain tomorrow, too scared and incompetent to attempt to solder the snake tongue just yet. When I get better at the links and jump rings, I will dive in. And I did indeed solder the tongue on recently. It took me 3 days to get everything right, but I succeeded. So finally, at this late stage of my life, 59 now, I feel less of a loser and a failure than I used to feel after years of abuse and trauma. So I'm getting there, people. I'm getting there. I'm way behind everyone else of my age group because life wasn't kind, but I'm getting there. Laughing at myself. I have not started the soldering yet, even though I am hellishly excited about having gathered together all the equipment I needed in the space of a few weeks. To procrastinate, I sat at my desk and tidied it, put a new stationery tray down in the drawer and carefully lined it with non-slip rubber matting, labelled a few items, all things that were not important. Funny, Tanya. But when the soldering happens, tonight or tomorrow, I have a feeling it will be epic. So I need to be in the right mood and or vibe on my psychedelic up-leveling dream. I bought a cheap crock pot, brand new in Kmart for $25. Don't do that, people. It was shit. I ended up having to throw it out. The thermostat wasn't working right, and so it was boiling my pickle and wrecking everything. Oh dear goddess. But anyway, I didn't know that at that point in time. Also the pickle and the solder paste. Everything is ready for me to start soldering. Yay! Breathes. I hope I can do it. Update 2022. Still gaining mastery with my soldering, but not as terrified of failing at it as I was a year ago. 21st of April 2020. I got stuck on Ancestry.com for several hours. I discovered my mother's half-sister, that's Margarita Patula, death certificate, which confirmed she died in an air raid shelter. Actually stated attack by enemy. But I had her as dying in 1943, but it was the 6th of September 1944. She was 36. I had thought she was only 23. So, wow. The poor woman never married or had children. It was assumed by my mother that she was a lesbian. That might explain why she never married. She was beautiful though. She really was. Anyway, now I am utterly exhausted from the mental strain of trying to find more ancestors. I got a 2-week free trial but did not find anyone new. Also, my neck. Really hard to read all the German and Polish documents to work out if they are the right family members. So I saved quite a few that looked promising, but we'll have to go over it a bit more carefully or it all gets muddled and someone will no doubt scream at me if I accidentally put misinformation. Fortunately, my cousin of blessed memory, who was actually my father's first cousin, but they never met. Robert would not have liked my father. He would have seen him for the fucking violent, crazed asshole he was. But anyway, my father's first cousin of blessed memory, Robert Ivan Phillips, did the entire Phillips family, so I don't need to tweak much on there. But he must have blocked me from changing anything on the extended family tree, or it's an ancestry glitch. So I updated some new info on the original Phillips one, then wrote a note to the person who contacted me that I can't update on the extended family one. What can I say? It's a hobby. 21st of April 2019. So, funny story from last night. Lana, whose real name is Leanne, who caused me such suffering for 4 years, harassing, stalking and gossiping with utmost vicious lies about me, turned up at the casino last night. I just ignored her, as she is a very warped individual, and there is nothing anyone, not even the gods, can do about her now. But I observed with wry amusement as she stood between the two tables and attempted to curl her lip up in her characteristic evil, impish sneer, which is supposed to terrify me, but just makes her look childish and malevolent and utterly stupid. Interestingly, my father used to also make this face often. Anyway, I just stared at her blankly as she is, I think I just raised my eyebrow. It's almost, oh no, the other one went up at the same time. But I almost did it. There was a moment there where, no, I imagined it. I don't do Botox, people. That's why I'm freaked out about the thought of Botox going into my bladder. But anyway, where was I? Anyway, I just stared at her blankly. I can pretend I've only raised one eyebrow. As she is not a person of any kind of moral calibre and not even worthy of being called human. So you can imagine my surprise when Alana could no longer lift her upper lip quadrant like this. Silly bitch. In her basic sneer, but instead her mouth twisted sideways like it was being pulled agape. I still have to laugh about it. It was the funniest thing I have ever seen in my whole life, watching your enemies unravel in front of you because they're A, malevolent, and B, stupid, and 3, plastic. Too much Botox, darlings. Oh. So the Tanya is reminded that her decision to grow old gracefully is a meritorious one, even with my deep fucking wrinkles that admittedly I wouldn't have minded getting Botox or Restylane and fill in that freaking crevice from hell. But this is my face, and get used to it, because it's going to get more wrinkles as I age, and I'm going to get old, both gracefully and graciously, and a bit disgracefully too, no doubt, if I find a worthy lover man to keep me occupied into older age. Old women are supposed to not desire sex anymore, but I found that out to not be quite true. Oops. But anyway, I did shut down my sexuality. It's been shut down for 9 years, so I'm allowed to aspire to wonderful things again. Why the hell not? I'm going to grow old disgracefully and graciously and gracefully, all at the same time, depending on my mood on any given day. It's also a reminder to own your own bitch face, both of them. I was surrounded by genuine, beautiful, loving friends, so the few enemies in the room held little sway. That is how you know you have triumphed over your own pestilential horrors, when you continuously rise and shine in the face of adversity and poorly glued together humanoids. But lest I descend into their morass of putrid ugliness, I must remember that my beauty, my aging, wrinkled face, comes from a higher power, and that slatherings of Revlon foundation and or nude mineral powder, lipstick, eyeliner, eyeshadow and glitter, and is just as manufactured as any woman determined to thrive. It's all razzle-dazzle, bitches, and it all ends in smoke and ashes until the next shining, oh blessed ones. So, own your face, own your body, own your heart, own your mind, own your neshama, your soul, and never ever let the bastards grind you down. And watch them unravel in front of you, those who come to mock and leer and try to, upset you. I'm so glad I'm not in that toxic wasteland anymore. I'm so glad I left that wasteland. It took Bobo's death for me to finally say, enough of your evil, toxic bullshit. I'm out of here. So there is that. I had a gorgeous time last night. Maybe it was moon madness. Maybe the gods smiled on me. There was so much love in the room, and even though some vicious ex-friends and the woe-begotten former lover that I still love so much showed up to have a little stare, I rose above it and shone in my own radiant light of joy, freedom, and integrity. It was quite magical and beautiful. I feel very protected, loved, and blessed. Thank you to Karen, Catherine, Richie, and Moana, Joe, and Tisha for your collective sweetness and awesomeness. I love you. Here I posted a wonderful meme. It's just hilarious. Actually, chocolate is very poisonous to birds, so in truth, it's actually probably not that funny if you think about it. But it's just delightful. I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you. It's a little cockatiel. Can you see it, or is there a reflection? It's a little cockatiel, and it says, standing beside a chocolate fountain, and it says, "No one here." And then he gets a little bit closer and he puts his little beak close or tastes the chocolate. And then he says, "Oh Lord." And hang on, we've got to scroll it down a bit. Where are we? Come on, kids, where are we? Bloody mouse. All right, here we go. So he gets into the chocolate fountain and he goes, "Oh Lord." And then he's covered in the chocolate and he goes, "Oh Lordy, yes." Wow. That's so typical. That's Mama T, people. That's Mama T. And it's funny how I felt inspired to overindulge in the chocolate this morning, and this comes up in my memories, am I right? It's kind of synchronistic, patterns repeating, history kind of repeating in a weird way. So I wrote, "My spirit bird, a big thank you to my beautiful Sally, who blessed me with so much chocolate this Passover. As she knows, it is one of the few things that reinvigorates my spirit with joy and or bliss, and that satiated feeling of angst guilt that contributes to my hobbit rotundness. After devouring several blocks of chocolate, I have to get over the guilt, as I'm never going to eat just one tiny piece. But joy. Chocolate is joy and a gift from Quetzalcoatl to the humans across the globe, spread far and wide by Lindt and Whittaker's, Cadbury and Nestle, opiate of the masses. Love it a lot. I'll be having to love it a little bit less because it's going to make me violently ill probably later today, and I'll regret my dietary choices this morning when I hauled my assets out of bed. But you know, it was yummy, and je ne regrette rien in this moment. Here I posted another meme. I must have been feeling a bit sweet and romantic that year too, because it's sweet little lovebirds. Look how sweet they are. I must get Charlie out, by the way. I'm getting a feeling that she's feeling lonely. I can feel her. Might go and get her. It's not fair leaving her on her own. But anyway, I wrote, everyone needs someone to make them feel like tomorrow is more than just another day. Yeah, fuck it, let's go. I've nearly finished because because I'm up to 2018, and as I said, they've chopped out all my writings. But I got an attack. The umbilical cord is pulling. Come on, Baba, come on. She's got the shits with me now. You coming? Let's go. Let's go. Oh, are we coming? You coming with Mama? Let's go. Come on. No. All right, I was going to bring you into the lounge with me. All right, I'll get you later. She's got the shits. That's how she lets me know. Oh, you changed your mind. You like to tease Mama, don't you? Come on. Let's go. Let's go. We're going. We're making a video. I'm going to take her in the kitchen to do her poo. Oh, no, not on me. Don't poo on me. She'll poo on me. Come on, this way, this way, this way. Right, just sit there, up there. Because you always poopy cunts. Come on. Oh, you're giving me such a hard time. Hello. Say hello to the people, Charlie. Say hello to the people, Charlie. Get a cloth because she has to poo. She has to do the poo. She'll poo when she wants to. Usually what she does is I bring her in here and then she poos in the sink. She always does a massive one. Yeah, here we go. It's going to happen. Come on. Come on, Mummy's finger. Get on. Can you get on Mummy's finger? No? All right. We haven't got time to wait around for you to poo. We haven't. It's not all about... Yep, I knew... Now look, see? Massive. This is my life, people. I've been cleaning up poopykins since I had my first baby when I was 20 and a half. I've been cleaning up poo. And what is the meaning of life? Eat shit and you die, Charlie. Fall in love with shits and you die too. And in between, you clean up shit. And life can be shitty, but it can also be glorious. Glorious, glorious, glorious. All right. Oh, dear goddess. Do you feel better now? You've got your mother. You've shat everywhere. Life is for the birds. Going cross-eyed looking at you. Right, where was I? Oh, that's right. 21st of April 2018. I can feel. Can you see how happy she is? Yeah, she was missing her mama. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can sense it. It was the same with my dog when I used to go shopping or do groceries or go on little road trips, for a few, sometimes too long in my opinion, but my kids used to try and keep me out. It was cruel. I could feel my dog pulling on my energy, going, oh, I want my mum, I want my mum. And I have to go home. We have to go home. My dog needs me. And they thought I was mad, of course, but I'm very sensitive to, I had a psychic kind of bond with them, and it was intense, people. Especially actually with my little Pomeranian, Bella Rosa, it was so intense that within like an hour of like being down the shops, I'd be like, I have to go home, Bella needs me. And I'd come home and she'd be just hysterical, and I'd be like, she really did need me, But I was living for other beings more than for my own self, which is not actually all that healthy. But don't have pets if you're not prepared to spend time with them, is what I'm saying, because that's also cruel. Anyway, 21st of April, don't eat that salt block, Charlie. 21st of April 2018. My hair's doing weird fucking things now. Last night, I finished watching The Alienist. Excellent show about a forensic psychiatrist in 1896. This evening I've started watching Charité, which is the same famous hospital my grandmother was born in. It's in Berlin. It's a hotel now. Her mother was unwed and had to work off her confinement. My great-grandmother came out from Poland and was working as a servant girl in probably some wealthy landlord's home, and I don't know whether she was raped or whether it was, a genuine love affair, but she got pregnant and had to work off her confinement in the charity hospital, which is what they did in those days with unwed mothers, and all alone, no family in a stripped foreign country, and probably no money either, and I don't know. Eventually she did remarry. Not remarry. Eventually my great-grandmother did marry. She married a man named Bloch. Surname was Bloch, and I think she had more children, but by then, like, my grandmother was already, I think a young adult, so Don't know what the fuck happened there. I know that my grandmother was estranged with her mother. It's kind of family tradition of that in our female line, estrangements with our mothers. But, you know, she was estranged from her mother probably because she remarried and had more children, and maybe Eva felt abandoned, or maybe that she'd had a hell of a life with her, because she gave my mother a hell of a life, brutally beating her constantly. And in turn, my mother gave my half-sister and I a hell of a life. Wasn't so much brutal beatings, although we did get smacked a lot, and I got thrown into a glass door once. And Angela complained that she was starved and not fed properly, and I have no reason to disbelieve that, although I wasn't starved. But then by the time I came along, there were like 4 adults all sharing in the caring role. So, you know, I was starved kind of as a baby due to reflux, but I wasn't deliberately starved per se. I don't remember. Probably was, knowing that they were so acopic. But my sister was deliberately starved. Like my mother was too focused on going to work and would forget to feed her properly. I mean, that's appalling. It's actually fucking appalling. So she said that the landlady where that they rented the room from in Wellington actually taught my sister how to boil an egg and fry an egg so she could at least feed herself a bit properly while waiting for our mother, or her mother at that time, Gisela, to come home from work, right? It's appalling. So, you know, my sister was an asshole to me. She really let me down badly. But she also had a I think probably a worse childhood than I had, because I at least was fed. But anyway, and then the intergenerational trauma continues, because I was so traumatized from my childhood that I wasn't always a perfect mother either, suffering, you know, severe depression and lying around in bed a lot and not coping. So then that kind of paid it forward that way. And anyway, neither of my daughters have had children, so I guess the intergenerational trauma stops with them, and my line stops with them, and it's probably a very good thing, actually, given the acopism and the sadism and the sociopathology. It all just ends with them, and I think that's kismet. I mean, I do grieve that I will never have grandchildren, because I'm actually a very nurturing, mothering person, and I always want to see progeny in the next generation and and I should have had, you know, should have long ago had grandchildren by now, but it didn't manifest, and it is what it is. And as I say, I grieve about it, but it's probably good the line stops with me. Anyway, interesting. It is set around the same time period. The TV show Charité about the hospital gave me a feel of what it would have been like for my great-grandmother working there while waiting to deliver my grandmother Eva. It really gave me a good sense of setting and time and space. It's quite interesting, but triggering in a way too, to be honest. A character in Alienist is called John Moore, which was the adopted name of a long-time former friend of mine, Graham Denich, that I mentioned in a video yesterday, that was stirred up when he was confronted by my former boss, Susie van der Kwast. He went to change his name to John Moore, another idiot that continuously changed his name, trying to hide from all his nefarious deeds, no doubt. The universe is confronting me with old friends and the ancestors. Tonight, my gorgeous friends and I will check out the Elephant. Been a while since we went there. No idea what band is playing. Tarina and I have a possible venue for Club Amazonia, which was going to be the name of my club I was going to start up one fine day if I ever got the money together. Because I'm a psychedelic dreamer and I dream opulently. And I'm actually a very ambitious person. Who knew? Anyway, it never happened, but it's okay. It will be in Qualtro Street, Woolloongabba. That never happened. That didn't manifest. I imagine we might organise our first gathering in 1 month's time. I will advertise when I know final arrangements. I would like, actually, quite seriously, I would like to own my own nightclub. But it would be amazing. The fun I would have. It would be awesome. But, it would be a very intense business to oversee, actually. And but I would just sit there and pretend to be one of the customers and, drink my drinks, and I would just be, soaking in all the shenanigans all around. I'd love that. And they wouldn't know I was the owner. I'd make sure nobody knew. I'd just sit there being wild and carefree, dancing my dance, and they would have no fucking idea. So, just tickles me slightly. Tickles me, Charlie. Sitting out in the morning sun, accosted by midges, sandflies, tiny flying vermin. So I now have an opportunity to road test my new Dettol-smelling bug spray. Man, I stink. Bite me, motherfuckers. Go ahead. I dare ya. I wouldn't even nibble on myself right now. Sometimes going alternative lifestyle and saving the environment is stinky. P.S. Already covered in bites and itchy as hell. And my friend Tarina Edwards replied, I'll nibble, winky face, to which I laughed. And then I think she must have been a bit pissed. She wrote, I'll show you my ass and all. And I laughed again, and I replied, you like the taste and smell of Dettol? Oh, behave, lol. And she wrote, all you need, come round now, I'll dose you in it. And she posted a photo of witch hazel. And she says, and I'll give you the bottle, I've used it for over 20 years. And I wrote back, I need to buy some of that, running low. Made my bug spray with Dettol, baby oil and isocol. I use the witch hazel on my face. Does it really keep midges and mozzies at bay? And she says, no, come here now. It's yours, cold and lovely. I think she meant to dab it on all the bites. And I went, lol, nah, you keep it. But I will come round if you like. Can I bring the bow? Which is my dog, Beauregard. And she said, oh my God, of course, and bring the ukulele. I'm having free lessons in the Cook Islands next week and Hawaii over Christmas and New Year. And he can have the yellow socks, winky face, because the time before I visited her, he went into her suitcase, which wasn't quite closed, and pulled out a pair of yellow socks, started chewing on them, and we were like talking, and by the time I realized, oh my God, he's got your socks. He used to love stealing people's socks. Like I went to visit my friend Terry, and she would just give him an old sock to play with because she knew he had a sock fetish and he just loved it. And but he was so cheeky, Beauregard. He'd just go sniffing around and he'd come out with socks, sometimes underwear. It was so embarrassing. But he was a dog. That's what dogs do. Anyway, I said, okay, I'm not very well, but we'll pop over for a while. See you soon. And she replied, I can't wait to see you both. Been a while. When you're ready and not before. Kiss, kiss, kiss. And then later she posted, because I actually left my phone at her place by accident. Your phone is here. Darling Karen just rang. Where are we going? And I wrote back, the Elephant, which is the Elephant Hotel in Fortitude Valley. And my friend Julie Goddard wrote, I made a Dettol spray too. 1/3 Dettol. Oh, you're singing, Charlie. You're singing a song. 1/3 baby oil and 1/3 metho. I also added some tea tree oil. It seemed to work well right up until dusk. Then we had to use a combination of that and AeroGuard. She lives up in Townsville, so I can imagine the mosquitoes would be as big as cats up there. But Jesus. Are you a happy girl now you're out with Mama? You are. You're a happy girl. You're such a happy birdie. I love it when my birdie's happy. Yes, I do. I love it when Mama T's happy too. Yes, I do. And here I wrote, because I mentioned earlier I didn't know what band was playing. So here I wrote, yay, alter egos at the Elephant. Rock on. Now that was 2018, but I've been dancing for them for 13 years, which is why they tolerate my idiosyncrasies and encourage me in the wild moshing, by the way, as they know that's how I heal myself and sometimes others around me, by the way. So there's a big jump from 2018 to 2009, which I'm not happy about. 21st of April 2009. Prozac, Suzone, Effexor, sodium valproate, Cogentin, Zyprexa, Abilify, and last but not least, Cipramel. Not so happy days. A history of happiness of the pharmaceutical kind. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Oh, and I forgot. Zoloft, the one that makes you murder your spouse, laughing out loud. I think I was taking that after my Prozac period. Lol, I'm not crazy. I'm just doped that way. Update 2020. 9 months after my suicide attempt. Okay, you're up on the window, on the curtain rails. Okay. She's really happy today now. 9 months after my suicide attempt, I finally weaned off all psych meds on the 3rd of June 2016, which coincided with a full-blown manifestation haunting from David Davidson. Almost 4 years later, my mind is much, much better. Psych meds did nothing for me but make me hugely fat, shuffle, and I was just as depressed and sick to my core as ever. Even my psychiatrist, who had been reluctant to allow me to wean off my medication, was impressed with how well I coped and how quickly I recovered. I did endure 3 summers of teeth and nerve pain, and the last few years pain with the gallbladder, and the last year asthma and recovering from gallbladder surgery, which was unnecessarily traumatic as well due to systemic abuse in that filthy, fucked up hospital. But I'm getting better and stronger, so I pray that my life will finally get better and I will overcome most of my health struggles. here I am in 2024, so maybe life will blossom exponentially when I am fully recovered. Maybe I will finally find love and thrive in all my undertakings. Maybe life will be kinder and sweeter. Maybe my tribe will surround me with love and blessings and, if necessary, protection. Here's looking at you. Brooklyn Standard, Alter Egos, Ramjet. Thank you for surrounding me with love and blessings and at times protection. Goddess bless you. Maybe my life will finally serve some higher purpose that is beautiful and blessed and peaceful. Maybe it has already begun, the becoming. I had a rough start to life and an even rougher metamorphosis in recent years. Update 21 April 2021. Zombie, zombie, zombie. So glad that 12 years later, I have been free of all psych meds for close to 5 years on the 3rd of June. That was in 2021. So it's what is it now? 2006, it's nearly 8 years. I've done well. And I'm waking up from that long, horrid holding down pattern and opening up to all potentialities and blossoming on my personal tree of life. Even with the sleep apnea and the defunct bladder, I'm blossoming every day in every way, striving for contentment and happiness and peace, my truest, deepest love, and hoping to regain better health and equilibrium and even potentially success. And did I mention joy? And hoping to find my true love partnership at long last, although that's probably an illusion and a delusion. But at least I have beautiful friends in my life who support me and encourage me and motivate me and are there for me. Thank you for the dance, Alter Egos, on Friday night. It was delightful when Scott looked at me and went, ready? And I just went, and not immediately, but about 3 or 4 songs into the third set, I bloomed. So thank you for your deep love and encouragement. I do value and appreciate it. I really do. I know I walk off without saying goodbye at the end of the night very often, but, you know, I don't actually want to be a pest and get up your right nostril and act like a besotted schoolgirl. So off I go, off into my walk home, safe and sound, but feeling actually very soul nourished and very much loved indeed. To you all. Blossoming on my personal tree of life, more like an overripe fruit ready to explode, to leave her delicious creativity on starved ground for new life to issue forth. A new life for me that is prosperous, full of joy, peace, and true authentic life-affirming love. even if it is platonic and agape and can't be consummated in a torrid wild love affair, because as delightful as I think it might be, it's just not cricket, people. So yes, the psychedelic dreamer, the Mama T, dreams big as always, but she also has to remind herself to behave. Surrounded by noble, decent, loyal friends, family, associates, and my dream of a life partner. Well, I already have the most gorgeous friends, and I am finding my tribe of other artisans who support me and vibe with me, and the life partner might still be out there somewhere, even in the next dimension, and the joy is here with me now, punched into my Kintsugi heart, because I made it myself. Trademark Tanya Desiree Aarons, strong and fierce and sublime. So thus concludes my writings and ramblings and musings of even date. If I find anything tucked away, if I manage to access my activity log later, I may come back and present those to you too. If I don't, I won't. Some things are just meant to be. And I love you all deeply and truly and honouringly, even though some of you I love a bit mischievously at times, but I behaved myself on Friday night. And thank you for your support and your kindness towards me. I know I'm an oddball and a prickly pear, and I can be frustrating at times and I can be difficult, but all in all, my love is real and I am grateful to you all. So much love from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. Have a beautiful day wherever you are in the space-time continuum. And remember, as always, never ever let the bastards grind you down while simultaneously holding on to what is real and what is true. True love, real love, authentic love is the law and the fabric of the multiverses. So claim it if it is claimable, because it's available to you, and honour it and bless it and keep it precious, my darlings. Bye for now.